Hi students, good morning. Please ask everybody to join the link. Please share the link and ask everyone to join the link. Let us wait for 5 minutes more so more students can join the link. And after 5 minutes, we shall start with the class. Good morning, students. I'm Ajay Anthony, and I'm your digital marketing trainer for today. I am in behalf of Plant Green Inertia. This session is about 2.5 hours, so totally you have about 18 interventions. So let's go ahead and start with the class today. So today's chapter is about funnel building and competitive SEO analysis. So we are starting with chapter 6 for today, funnel building and competitive SEO analysis. After studying this chapter, students will be able to explain the concept of digital funnels, analyze user journeys across multiple stages, design basic funnel structures for different objectives, and understand competitive analysis in SEO. You'll be able to apply all of the ethical methods to evaluate the competitors' digital strategies across different domains such as educational, business, and social contexts. So that is going to be the learning outcome of today's chapter. Now let us go ahead and try to understand what is the concept of funnel building in digital marketing. A funnel in digital marketing, a funnel in digital marketing represents the structured pathway through which users move from initial awareness to final action. The funnel metaphor is used to describe how a broad group of users gradually narrows as they progress through stages of engagement. Funnel building is the deliberate process of designing and managing this journey. In academic and professional discussions, funnels are not viewed as rigid structures but as analytical frameworks. They help marketers and educators understand how attention is captured, how the interest is sustained, and how decisions are made. Funnel thinking emphasizes process over isolated actions. Funnels are applicable beyond commerce. Educational institutions use funnels to guide the learners from awareness stage to the program stage and finally to the enrollment stage. Social organizations use funnels to move the individual from an awareness stage until the end, which is the participation stage. For example, a student discovering a course, which is the starting stage, then exploring details, which is the middle stage, and finally he gets to enroll inside the course, which is the final stage. Another example would be a user learning about a cause, which will be the beginning stage, and signing up as a volunteer would be the end stage, the final stage. Another example would be a visitor researching a service will be the beginning stage, and until he makes a contact to any of the product or service website is the final stage. Students, let us try to understand. I will break it down very simply for you about the whole concept of funnel building. What is funnel building? Funnel building means designing a structured journey that moves the user from awareness to conversion. You're basically designing a journey for the customer, right from he steps into your platform until he makes an action to the end of the platform. So this is going to be a structured journey. You're designing a structured journey that moves from a user from awareness stage to the conversion stage. Now, instead of just doing some kind of a random marketing, what we are going to do by implementing a funnel, we are going to create a planned pathway. We are not going to do something random. We are not going to do some kind of a random marketing. We are going to design and create a planned pathway for the customer, for the user. So this is the meaning of funnel building. You are basically guiding the user from step by step. You are designing a whole funnel, a whole pathway for a user until he steps inside your website and surfs, gets information, studies it, analyzes, makes a decision, and ultimately he purchases a product or a service. This whole journey is called as a funnel design. We are going to guide the user step by step. Now, this whole process, what I explained to you, this journey, this guiding process is called as a marketing funnel. So now you students know the meaning of a marketing funnel. Now let's go and look and try to understand the stages of digital marketing funnel. The digital marketing funnel is commonly divided into stages such as awareness, consideration, and conversion. Each stage reflects a different level of user readiness and information needed. Now, understanding these stages helps in designing appropriate content and interactions. Now, let us go a little deeper and see what are these stages. At the awareness stage, the users seek general information. At the consideration stage, they compare the options and seek for clarity. At the conversion stage, they evaluate the trust and ease of the action. Advanced funnel analysis recognizes that users may move back and forth between different stages. But the whole concept of the funnel design, effective funnel design respects the user autonomy and avoids forced progression. For example, awareness through informational content. You are putting out some kind of an informational content in your website. So, what is the goal of that? Your user and customer is getting aware by reading it. So, awareness through informational content, that is one example. Consideration through comparisons and explanations. So in your website, you are comparing other products and saying how useful it is going to be for them, how practical it is going to be for them, how affordable it is going to be for them. So you're giving a practical comparison and you're also explaining to the customer. You are also explaining to the user. So that is when the user is going to consider about purchasing the product. So that is one example. And conversion through clear calls to action, which is the final stage called as the conversion stage. That is where you're giving a clear call to action, a clear action to the viewer, asking him to join the course, asking him to purchase now, asking him to buy now. So that is the conversion stage. Okay, students, now let me break it down for you very easily so you will be able to understand what are the three main funnel stages. So, the first stage is called the awareness stage, which is the top of the funnel. Now, let us try to understand what happens during this stage. During the awareness stage, which is the top of the funnel, the users do not know you yet. During the awareness stage, the users do not know you yet. So, what is the main goal of this stage? What is the whole goal of this stage? The main goal of this stage is to attract the attention of the customer. It is to attract the attention of the user. And by attracting the attention of the user, by attracting the attention of the user, you are trying to provide value. So first you attract the attention of the user. Your second goal should be trying to provide a value to the user, and your third goal should be is to educate the customer, to educate the user. So first you're bringing him into your website, you're gaining his attention, you're providing some kind of a value to him, and you are also educating him. So these three are the primary goal of the first stage of the funnel, which is called as the awareness stage. Now, how do you attract attention during the stage? How do you try to provide value and how do you educate the customer during this stage? Let us see. You can write some kind of a blog posts about the product or service that you are selling. That is one example. You're writing a blog post about the product. That product or service can be anything. It can be a phone, it can be a car, it can be a shoe, it can be any kind of a product or service. But using this blog post, you are going to write informational content about the product and you are going to educate the customer. You are going to provide him value. So, blog post is one kind of an example. The second example would be social media content. You are implementing and creating original content for social media. That there also you can provide any some kind of a value to the customer. One more option would be YouTube videos. So producing and creating original content on YouTube, some kind of a content. So creating some kind of an original content. So these three are very prominent examples that you can try and recreate and implement during the funnel stages, especially during the first funnel stage, which is the beginning of the funnel stage, which is called as the awareness stage. So the main focus of the first stage is to drive the traffic and build an awareness for your customer. Drive traffic inside your website and build the awareness of your user. So that is the whole goal and that is the whole focus of the first stage of the funnel, which is the awareness stage. Now let us see about the second stage of the funnel, which is the middle of the funnel. Now the name of this stage is called the consideration stage. Let us see what happens during the second stage, the middle stage of the funnel. Now during this stage, the users know something about you. During the first stage, you have driven them inside your website. So when you have driven them inside the website, they have studied something, understood something about you. So now during the second stage, the middle of the funnel, the users or the customers, they began to know something about you. So what happens when they began to know something about you? They start to compare the other options available. They start to compare you with other products or other service. So that happens during this stage. That is why the name of the stage is called as the consideration stage. They start to consider about your product or service, and they start to compare you with other products and service. So what is the main goal of the stage when this happens? The main goal of this stage, of the consideration stage, is to build the trust among the audience. It is very important to build the trust of the audience. Show them some benefits about why and how it is going to benefit them by purchasing a product. And the third option would be is to collect the leads, is to collect something about them. So in this middle of the funnel stage, which is known as the consideration stage, the users know something about you. So they start to compare you with other products and other services to see how affordable are you? Are you better? Do you have a better quality? Do you have a better after sales service? So there are a lot of factors that they begin to consider you among the competition. So that happens during this stage. So to prevent that and to win in this stage against your customer, you are supposed to build the trust and show them some benefits. So how do you build trust and show them some benefits during this stage? There are a few examples that can be implemented during this stage to build the trust and show them some benefits. For example, you can implement free ebooks. Another example would be you can implement and conduct a webinar. Conduct a webinar about the product or service that you're trying to sell. Educate the customer, try to build trust, show them some benefits. What are the benefits that they will be able to receive as soon as they buy your product or service? Research and conduct some case studies about the industry that you're playing, about the domain that you're playing. All of these examples provide some kind of a value to the customer. So when you're providing some kind of a value, you automatically began to build the trust among the audience. So the main goal of this stage of the funnel, which is the middle of the funnel stage, is to build the trust, show them some benefits, and the main focus of this stage is to engage with the customer. The main goal of this stage is to engage with the customer. Now let us see the third stage of this funnel design, which is the last stage of the funnel design. So first stage was the awareness stage, which is the beginning of the funnel design. The second stage was the consideration stage, which was the middle of the funnel design. Now we have got to the third stage, which is the bottom of the funnel design, and the name of the stage is the conversion stage. So what happens during the last stage, during the bottom of the funnel stage? In this stage, the users are ready to decide. The users have already made a decision about about your product, whether they are going to buy your product or whether they are not going to buy your product. So in this stage, the last stage, they have already decided, they have already come to a conclusion. The decisions have already been made. So what is the main goal of the digital marketers during this stage is to convert the audience, convert the users into purchasing their product, remove any kind of objections in your website, and very clearly you need to offer a clear CTA, a clear button in your website. That those buttons are very common these days in website. You click on that one button, directly it takes you to the checkout page. Like for example, the button can be join now. So as soon as you click join now, immediately it takes you to the enrollment of the course details. Or if you click buy now, immediately when you click buy now, it takes you to the checkout page of the product, the cart page. So all these are very clear buttons. So the main goal of this final stage is to convert the customer, remove any kind of an objection, and offer them a very clear button. So how do you do this? How do you convert? How do you remove objection? And how do you offer clear CTA? One example could be is to offer a free trial version to the customer. The second example can be is to provide some kind of a discount to the customer. The third type could be is to provide some kind of a demo call to the customer. And the last and final example, which is very common, which is very commonly used today, is the limited time offer. So the main goal of this final and the bottom of the funnel stage, which is the conversion stage, is to convert the audience, remove objections, and offer them a very clear CTA. And the main focus of this last stage, of this bottom of the funnel stage, is to increase the sales and conversions. The ultimate goal and focus of this final stage of the funnel is to increase the sales and conversions. So, students, we have discussed about the concept of funnel building and also what are the different stage of funnel building. So, this is a very important chapter. Now, I am going to give you all a reflection exercise. For the next 2 to 3 minutes, sit back and reflect about what I have taught you about the funnel design, what you have understand, and I have the pages front of me, whatever I have discussed. Please take notes, whatever notes is necessary. Please take notes, whatever note is necessary of these two parts, of these two topics, what I have explained to you just now. And once you are done taking notes, we shall move to the next topic. Okay, students. Now let us move to the next topic, user journey mapping and funnel design. User journey mapping involves documenting the steps users take while interacting with digital platforms. This process includes identifying the touchpoints, the emotions, and the decision barriers. Journey maps support thoughtful funnel design. Funnel design must align with the real user behavior rather than any kind of an assumption. Overly complex funnels often result in disengagement. Simplicity and clarity support smoother progression. Mapping the user's journey allows organizations to identify any kind and any type of gaps between the intention and the experience. For example, mapping enrollment steps for an online course, that is one example. Second example would be documenting navigation paths on a website. And the third example would be identifying the points of confusion or delay. Okay, students, let me make it clear and let me explain to you in very simple terms about user journey mapping and funnel design. So, what is user journey mapping? User journey mapping means visually mapping the step-by-step experience a customer goes through before, during, and after he has made a purchase. So, understanding that journey is the foundation of funnel design. During the whole buying experience, the customers go through a journey. What is that journey? That journey is a step by step experience a customer goes through before, during, and after purchasing a product. So, understanding that journey is the foundation of funnel design. So, what does the journey focus on? Why do we try to track and analyze that customer journey? The main journey focuses on what the customer thinks, what the customer feels, what the customer does, and where they struggle. You are trying to analyze and identify the customer's behavior when he enters the website. You are studying the whole behavior. You are studying the whole journey of the customer, right from he starts to think about your product until he has purchased your product. So the whole journey is being analyzed and tried to understand, and that is the main meaning and goal and use of user journey mapping. It is about understanding the human side of the market, mainly to understand the customer's user experience. Now let us see why the user journey mapping is very important for when you're doing digital marketing. Because if you don't understand the journey, you cannot design the funnel. Only if you understand the journey of the customer, you can design a funnel. So that is why it is very important to understand the journey of the customer. So it will help you to design the funnel. So let us see what all the user journey mapping helps us. It can help you identify pain points. It can help you understand the emotions of the customer. It can help you remove the friction. It can help you remove any kind of a friction. It can help you improve the overall experience, the overall buying experience of a customer. And once you benefit from all of these, that will result in increase the conversions. So that is why user journey mapping is very important when you are doing digital marketing. So understanding the journey of the customer is very important. After you have understood the journey of the customer, then you can design the funnel for the customer. Now let us see what are the typical user journey stages. Now there are five stages in this user journey mapping. The first stage is the awareness stage. The second stage is the interest stage. The third stage is the consideration stage. The fourth stage is the decision stage. And the fifth stage is the post purchase stage. Now, let us see what happens during the first stage of this journey. The first stage of this journey is the awareness stage. This is where they first see your advertisement. The first time they are seeing your advertisement. So, what happens when they first time see your advertisements? The thought in their minds becomes like, okay, this sounds interesting. So, that is the thought process of the customer as soon as they see your advertisement. So, what is the emotion that runs during that time? Curiosity. Curiosity is the emotion that runs as soon as the first time they see your advertisement. So, that becomes the awareness stage in journey mapping. Now, let us see the second stage, which is the interest stage. In this stage, the customer visits your website. He clicks on the advertisement link directly, he goes now inside your website. In the second stage, he comes inside your website, he visits inside your website. So, what is the thought when he visits your website and goes through your website? Then he begins to think, okay, now is this code, is this product good for me? Is this product beneficial for me? Is this course that I'm going to enroll inside very, very important and very beneficial for me? Is it worth it? So during that process, the emotion that is running inside the customer is he is interested, but he is still cautious. He is interested to move forward, but he is still cautious about the decision. So that happens during the second stage, which is the interest stage. Now, after he's done with the interest stage, he gets to the third stage, which is the consideration stage. Now, what happens during the consideration stage? The users begins to read the reviews. The users begins to read the reviews of the past users, past purchasers, or previous customers, previous customer reviews. So after he reads all the reviews and the points and the stars that has been given by the previous customer, the thought inside him will come, okay, now if he's going to purchase a product, he will think, okay, is this product beneficial for me? If he's going to enroll in a course means he will think, okay, will this course help my career? So that is the thought process during this stage. And what is the emotion that runs when he thinks like this? Two emotions then. One is hope and the other one is doubt. So he is hopeful, but at the same time he is doubtful. So that is the consideration stage. He is trying to consider whether this will work for me, whether this will benefit for me. Will it help my career if I join this course? Is this product worth it? Is this product affordable? So all of these happens during the consideration stage. Now it brings us after the consideration stage, which is the main stage, is the decision stage. Now what happens during the decision stage? The users compares the price. If you're selling a course, they will compare you with another company who is selling course. If you're buying a phone, then he will compare you to another company that is selling a phone, or the same with a car, or the same with a bike. It can be any kind of a product or service. They compare you with other products in the market. So, what is the thought process that happens during that time? Is it affordable? They begin to think like, is it affordable? And the emotion that runs during that decision making phase is risk evaluation. That is the emotion. Risk evaluation. They start to think about the risk, whether I have made the correct. Is it affordable? Will it benefit me? Is this price all right? So that happens, and that is the thought process, and that is the emotion that runs during the decision making stage. After the decision making stage comes the last stage of the user journey mapping, which is the post purchase stage. Now, let us see what happens during the post purchase phase. The users receive an email onboarding after he has purchased a product, after he has received enrolled inside the course, after he is subscribed to a service, he receives an onboarding email. Now he is already a customer of that brand. So, what will be the thought process during that time? Was this a good decision? Did I make a good decision? Did I make the right decision? That is the thought process of the customer during that time. And what is the emotion that is running during that time for the customer is that two things. One is he excited or is he regretful? One, after purchasing the product or service, you should be happy. Okay, I am very happy about this product. I am very happy about this service. Another example that can be running during that same time is, okay, he has made a bad decision. Sorry to myself, I have made this bad decision. I regret I made this bad decision. So there are only two emotions after post purchase. One is a good decision, and the other is a regretful bad decision. So this is the whole process. This is the whole five stages of user journey mapping, and that is how you track the journey of the user right from the first stage to the fifth stage, right from the awareness stage to after he has purchased a product, which is the post-purchase stage. So overall, if I can explain to you about funnel user journey and what is funnel design is, the, the journey mapping focuses on the user's perspective and funnel design focuses on the business strategy. That is the main goal of doing user journey mapping and funnel design. User journey mapping focuses on the user experience of the customer, and funnel design focuses on the business strategy. That is the main reason of doing user journey mapping and funnel design. So, students, I hope you have understood this topic, which is user journey mapping and funnel design. I hope I have explained to you very simply, very easily, something that everybody can understand. I broke it down for you all. So I'm going to give you a reflection exercise now for this topic, which is user journey mapping and funnel design. So for the next 2 to 3 minutes, sit back and reflect about what I have taught you and what I have explained to you in simple terms about user journey mapping and funnel design. Go ahead and take notes because these terminologies is very important when you're doing digital marketing. So please take notes of these along with these three examples. And once you're done taking notes, we shall move to the next topic. Okay, students, hope you took down the notes. Now let's get to the next chapter, which is the introduction to competitive SEO analysis. Competitive SEO analysis involves studying how similar organizations or platforms achieve visibility in search engines. The objective is not imitation but understanding industry standards and user experiences and expectations. Competitive analysis helps identify the content gaps. It can also help you identify the structural strengths and the opportunities for differentiation. It supports informed decision making rather than any kind of a guesswork. So, ethical analysis respects this originality and avoids any kind of a content duplication. For example, comparing educational websites for content depth, observing the structure of any kind of leading informational platforms, and final example could be identifying what are the different common keyword themes. That is the whole point of doing competition SEO analysis. Now let us see how do you identify the competition in digital environments. Competition in digital spaces may differ from traditional competitions. They include any platform competing for user attention and search visibility. Now, when you're identifying the competition that requires the understanding that requires understanding of the user intent and their own search behavior. There are different types of competitors. Competitors may vary by context. For example, an educational site may compete with blogs, with some kind of a video platforms or institutional website. The main goal is to recognize all of these indirect competition and see if it is essential for realistic analysis. So recognition of indirect competition is very essential for realistic analysis. For example, online learning platforms is one example. The next one could be informational blogs, and the third one, resource sharing websites. So all of these three examples, all of these three, wherever they are saying across different domains, all are your competition. Okay, students, now let me explain to you in very simple terms. I'll break it down whatever we have read and make you understand what is competition SEO analysis. Competition SEO analysis is studying your competition's website to understand why they rank higher and how you can outperform them. So that is the main goal of doing this analysis. You are studying your competition's website. If you are taking, for example, if you are a phone company and you are selling a phone, you are going to basically analyze and study another company, another phone company. If you are a digital marketing course provider, what are you going to do? You are basically going to study another company that sells digital marketing course. So you are going to study your competition's website and understand why they rank higher and how you can outperform them. So this doesn't come under unethical practice. It is not copying. You are not going to copy them basically. You are only going to study from them. What are you going to study? You're going to study what is working and what is not working. So that is the whole goal of doing competition SEO analysis. Now let us see why it is important. Because it is already doing, if it is already doing well and highly ranked on Google, which means they are doing a good job. So our job by doing competition analysis is to understand how are they doing a good job. You are going to totally analyze the website and see what are they doing right. So instead of implementing any kind of a guesswork in our website, totally relying on guessing, okay, this might work, or this will not work, or this will not work. What are we doing is we are totally analyzing our competition's website and seeing what is working and what is not working. Now, by doing this competition SEO analysis, why does it help? What does it help with? It helps you by identifying different opportunities in the market. By providing SEO analysis, you are able to discover what are the strong keywords. One more example could be you are able to understand the content strategy, and the fourth one would be is to improve your own ranking. So by doing compression SEO analysis, you will be able to identify you will be able to explore the different opportunities. You will be able to explore and understand what are the different keywords, what are the keywords that are working, and what are the keywords that are not working. You will overall be able to understand what is the content strategy that the competition is doing, what is working right and what is not working right. And finally, by performing and identifying all of these three examples, you will be able to improve your own website. So that is why people do competition SEO analysis, because it helps and benefits your own website at the end of the day. Now let us see. Now let us try to understand what do we analyze in competition SEO. There are a lot of factors that we analyze in competition SEO. The first one will be keyword analysis. By doing keyword analysis, by implementing keyword analysis, we will be able to find which keywords your competition ranks for. What are the keywords that are working for your competition brand? You will be able to know what is working and what is not working. Second, you will be able to identify what are the high volume keywords. Which keyword is bringing in a lot of customers? What is that keyword? What is that high volume keyword? That also you will be able to understand. The third one you will be able to understand is low competition keywords. The keywords that have very low competition. That also is a very beneficial factor. And finally, you will be able to analyze what are the long tail keywords. So all of these keywords, you're going to dissect them and you will be able to understand what is working and what is not working. So that is why it is very important to do keyword analysis, and it helps you in identifying what are the keywords that are working and what are the keywords that are not working. The second type of analysis that is done is content analysis. Now, by doing content analysis, like going into your competition's website and seeing and analyzing their content, you are going to go open your competitor's website and you are going to analyze the content. So, what are you going to study? You are going to study their content. What are you going to study from the competition's website? You will be able to study the blog topics. What kind of topics are they discussing on the website? What kind of an articles are they writing on their website? That is one example. The next example would be what is the content length? Whatever they are discussing on their website, what is the length of the content? Is it short? Is it long? Or is it medium length? How is the content? How short is the content? How long is the content? So that is one example. The third example would be is the usage of headings. So wherever they have headings in their website, you will check how many headings, how did they put their headings, whether it's heading one or heading two or heading three, where did they put their headings? So that also you will be able to study and analyze. The fourth example that you would analyze and study is the usage of images and videos. Now, inside their website, where all they have images and videos, how do they put them? What is the layering that they put on them? That part is very important. Yes, students. So, like we were discussing about the content analysis, this is why studying your competition's content is very important. The main goal and question you should ask yourself while studying your competition's website is, why is this content working? Why is this content ranking higher? So that is the main goal of doing content analysis. The third analysis that can be done is backlink strategy. Now, when you are performing a backlink strategy, Google considers backlinks as trust signals. So, when you're analyzing your competition's website, you should go and study about how many backlinks they have used. From which website did this backlink come? Are they very high authority sites or are they low authority sites? So, when you have more quality backlinks, which is equal to the potential to higher ranking. So that is why backlink analysis is very important until you understand the foundations of backlinks. So how many backlinks will be the first question. The second question will be from which website will you get the backlink strategy? And the third question you need to ask is, are they from high authority website or are they from a low authority website? So the more the quality of the banking, the higher the ranking potential. The fourth kind of an analysis that you need to perform is technical SEO analysis. So what do you check when you're doing your studying, trying to study your competition's website? The first one would be you need to check for the page speed. How fast is the website loading? Is it slow or is it fast? Is it responsive enough or is it not responsive? So that would be the first check. Your second check needs to be mobile friendliness. The way your competition cannot use the same website or build the same website when the customers and the users are checking from a computer, and secondly when they're trying to check on their phone. So what has to be built and optimized for a website, for a PC or for a computer should be optimized differently when you're viewing the same content on the website. So that is called as mobile friendliness. So you need to check if it's mobile friendly. The third one will be is to see what are the meta titles and meta descriptions that they have got. So that you need to take down what is the meta title and meta description. The fifth option would be is the site architecture. Even the small technical improvements can improve ranking. All this for you might be very small detail checks, but it is very important to do all these very small micro detail checks because even small technical improvements can improve your overall website ranking on Google. So that is why it is very important to check even the small detailed technical SEO analysis. So these are the different type of analysis, the different types of competitive SEO analysis that you can perform. Now, students, in the next 2 to 3 minutes, I'm going to give you all a reflection exercise. Sit back and reflect on whatever I have taught you on this topic, which is the introduction of analysis. How do you perform competition analysis? What is competition analysis? What are the different kinds of checks and studies that you can do on your competition's website? I have the notes in front of me. Please take down notes for the next 2 to 3 minutes, as this is very important. Only when you understand this, you will be able to understand the overall foundation of SEO. So please take down notes. I'll give you 2 to 4 minutes time, and once you're done taking down these notes, we shall move to the next topic. Yes, students. Now let us see how do you integrate funnel strategy and why you need to integrate funnel strategy with SEO insights. So, funnel building and SEO analysis are interconnected. The SEO attracts the users at various funnel stages, while the funnel design guides them towards meaningful outcomes. So when you're in, so when you are integrating these approaches, you need to ensure that the visibility aligns with the purpose, the content is optimized for awareness, and it should also support learning, while content optimized for conversion should also support the overall decision making. So alignment reduces the friction and improves the overall engagement quality. For example, informational pages for early stage users, detailed guides for consideration stage, and clear action pages for conversion. So, students, let me tell you, break it down for you finally on this topic, which is the funnel building and the funnel strategy, with a small classroom analogy. Let me break it down for you in very simple terms and finish this topic and move to the next topic. Imagine you are preparing for an exam. So instead of randomly just studying something, you are looking at your previous year's question papers. So what happens when you do that? The exact same thing you are going to implement by doing competitive SEO, by doing competition SEO analysis. The same competition SEO analysis is like analyzing your previous year's exam papers. And by doing that, it increases your chances of ranking. So, the important mindset that you're supposed to possess when you're doing is competition analysis is not about beating Google. You are not going to fight directly with Google. Your goal is not to fight with Google. Your goal is to fight with the competition that is on Google. So you should get that very clear. You are not basically having a direct competition with Google. You are only having a competition that is available on Google. So beating that competition in Google is your only goal. By doing competition analysis, this reduces the risk and it improves the overall strategy. That is the main reason for doing competition analysis. So, final summary for you students for this funnel building topic is you need to why does competition SEO analysis help you is it will help you understand what are the ranking factors. It would help you discover the keyword opportunities. It would help you learn from your competitors. It will help you build smarter competition and SEO strategies in digital marketing. So, in digital marketing, research is first, optimization is next, and ranking strategically is the ultimate goal. So, that is the strategy, that is the process that you are supposed to implement when you are doing digital marketing. Okay, students, now let us see a very important topic for today, which is ethical and strategic consideration. Let us try to understand what is this ethical they are talking about and how important it is going to be when you are implementing digital marketing strategies. Let's dive deep in. Ethical funnel building avoids manipulation and respects the user's choice. Competitive analysis should inform the improvement rather than encourage copying. Now, transparency and originality are very essential for sustainable practice. Strategic thinking involves long term planning rather than short term gains. So, ethical strategies build trust and credibility. So, why is it important? Students should develop critical judgment when they are trying to apply competitive insights. For example, the creation of original content. You need to create original content. Second example would be is to respect the intellectual property, and the third example should be is to overall prioritize the user's benefit. Okay, students, let me make you all understand in very simple terms. I'll break it down for you, whatever I have just read. I'll feed it into your minds. In digital marketing, you can grow fast, but the question is, how are you growing? Ethics protects your brand, strategy protects your growth. Both of these must work together. Ethics and strategy must work together. Now, let us try to understand what does ethics mean? What does ethical mean in digital marketing? Ethical marketing means growing your business without misleading, without manipulating, and without harming the users. So, the main goal and the main explanation for ethical and digital marketing means growing your business without misleading, without manipulating, and without harming the users. So, what does this include? That includes honesty, which is being very honest, transparency, which is being very transparent and very open to the customer, being very direct to the customer. Third is the respect for privacy. You should respect the privacy of the user or the customer at all costs, which is very important. And the fourth and most important ethic is following a fair competition. No malpractices, only fair competition. So these are the four ethical practices. These are the four ethics which needs to be implemented, and this is what they were trying to explain with they mean ethical in digital marketing. Now I told you what are the ethical practices. Now let me explain what are the unethical practices. What are the most used, prominent, common unethical practices? Number one, fake reviews. People post fake reviews. People post fake testimonials. People give fake stars reviews, 3 star, 4 star, 5 star. Everybody gives 5 star, passing to your friends and asking them to put 5 star on your page, giving forced reviews, paid promotions. All of these come under fake reviews. This is the most common and unethical practices that people and digital marketers and brands follow these days. So please avoid fake reviews. The second unethical practice is keyword stuffing. Digital marketers and brands overload their content with keywords unnaturally. They force them. They keep forcing and stuffing unnatural keywords while writing their content in their website, which is very bad. It is a very unethical practices. So please do not follow keyword stuffing. Please do not overload your content with keywords unnaturally. It needs to naturally flow. Whatever is only needed, that keyword only you need to keep. Unnatural, unstuffing just to drive in the audience is a very bad practice. The third option will be, and most important option, is plagiarism. Now let us try to understand what is plagiarism. Copying your competition's content is plagiarism. Copying content itself is plagiarism. So this is one more common and prominent example that people and competitions use. So please do not use this unethical practice, which is plagiarism. Kindly avoid it. The fourth option and fourth unethical practice is clickbait titles. Misleading titles, misleading headlines, just to attract the clicks and views of the customer. Irrelevant titles matching with irrelevant content. All of these mean clickbait titles. So kindly avoid using clickbait titles. Kindly use only the correct title, only use the right title. What the title should match the content, whatever it is, at all costs. Please do not use clickbait titles. Of course, there are a lot of benefits by doing this short term, by doing this unethical practices. There is some amount of benefits, but by doing this unethical practices, you might be able to get short term gains. Immediately, you might get a boost for your brand. Immediately, you might get a reach for your brand. But if you think about it, the overall damage that is done to your brand is the long term. It will help you now, it will help you in short term, it will help you get the reach in short term. But the damage that it does to you is long term. It damages your whole long term reputation of your brand, of your product, of your service. So kindly avoid all of these unethical practices and only follow ethical practices when you are implementing digital marketing and SEO funnels. The next, what we will look at example is data privacy and consent. What is data privacy and what is the consent we are going to discuss over here? Data privacy, as in the collection of data, with data collection, which is when you go to when you go to a website, for example, some website will ask you to write down your email address, your contact number, your phone, which is your phone number, your house address, your cookies information, your site data. Some websites where you're making a purchase, online purchase, e-commerce website, they ask you to put your password details, your credit card details, your debit card details, your UPI ID, all of those payment gateway details. All of these at no costs needs to be protected. You need to protect all of these data for your customers. So ethical marketers must, how do you protect the data of your customers? Ethical marketers and ethical data must clearly inform the customer, clearly inform the user, whatever it is. Second, get the consent of the customer, get the consent of the user. Third one is protect the data securely. whatever details they put on your website. It can be credit card information, debit card information, passwords, bank information, phone numbers, house address, email IDs. You must protect the data securely of your customer at all costs. This is a very important priority. And the last option in data privacy and concept would be avoid selling the data of your customer without permission. This is definitely a no go. This is definitely not right. And this is definitely unethical. So please avoid selling data without the permission of your customer, without the permission of your users. Always make sure to prioritize the trust. Trust is more valuable than traffic. Always note this point. The trust of your brand, the trust from your customer is more valuable than the amount of customers that are coming inside and viewing your brand, which in digital marketing terms they call it traffic. So trust is more valuable than traffic. Yes, students, for whatever I have discussed in the ethical practices and the non-ethical practices, what are the ethical SEO practices? What are the non-ethical SEO practices? What you should prioritize and what you shouldn't prioritize? Please understand, I'm going to give you a task for the next 2 to 3 minutes. Please sit back and reflect on whatever I have taught you about the ethical practices and the non ethical practices, what you should follow and what you shouldn't follow when you are doing digital marketing. Take notes in front of you, write down whatever I have spoke about, reflect on whatever you have understood, sit back and reflect, and when you're done with this, we will move on to the next topic. Okay, students. Now let us see what are strategic considerations. We have finished all of the ethical part. Now we are going to see strategic consideration. Two things that we were supposed to discuss today. One is ethics and one is strategy. We have discussed and understood what are ethics. Now we are going to discuss and understand what does strategy mean. Strategy means making smart long-term decisions that align with the business goals. That is the soul and meaning for strategy. So there are two types of strategies that you can use for digital marketing: a long-term strategy and a short-term strategy. Now let us see what is the benefits and what are the differences. So for short-term strategy, you can put or you can implement aggressive advertisements. The second example is you can implement and provide the customers very heavy discounts. And the third type of strategy is by implementing clickbait. So these are short-term strategies, giving aggressive advertisements, implementing aggressive advertisements for the customers, giving heavy discounts for the customers, and on the website, you're implementing a lot of unnecessary clickbaits. Whereas the long-term strategy is brand building, SEO authority, which means building search engine optimization and overall authority over your competition, customer loyalty, which is being very loyal to your customer, and by implementing quality content. So these four examples are examples for long-term strategy. So if you ask me what you should follow, should you follow short-term strategy or should you follow long-term strategy? Now, the answer is smart businesses follow a balance between both of these strategies. There needs to be a balance between short term and the balance between long term. So, that is how smart businesses grow because they balance both. Now, let us see choosing the right competitors. How do you choose the right competitors? Not all competitors are worth competing with. If a giant website dominates a keyword, what strategy is about smart positioning. Now let us see how do you allocate a resource. Resource allocation. When you're doing resource allocation, what do you need to ask yourself? Resource allocation means where is the money going? Where are you willing to put your money? Where are you willing to put your budget? In which strategy in digital marketing? So before doing that, you need to ask yourself where should the budget go? Should it go into optimization or should it go into paid advertisements? So SEO or paid ads. The third question you should ask yourself is, are you going to allocate it to content marketing or influencers marketing? And the fourth question you need to ask yourself is funnel optimization or traffic growth. Where are you going to allocate your resource? Asking these questions to yourself, you will gain an understanding about strategy requires prioritization. So which one are you going to prioritize in your strategy and where are you going to allocate your resources? That is going to be your strategy and that is why it is very important for resource allocation. The fourth option is Risk management. How do you avoid risk for your business, for your website? How do you avoid risk? By not implementing, by avoiding black hat SEO practices. Remember, I was telling you the previous topic about unethical practices. So please avoid these black hat SEO practices. The second option would be adding fake backlinks. Always remember to add the correct backlinks, the correct high authority keywords backlinks, and do not at any cost implement any kind of a manipulative tactics. Please avoid manipulative tactics because search engines penalize unethical behavior. So do not implement unethical behavior. Always try to consider the future consequences. So strategic thinking considers future consequences. So please implement strategic thinking. Avoid all kinds of risks for your business. And the fifth example in strategic consideration is brand reputation management. So what is reputation? What is brand reputation? Brand reputation is the overall opinion the public, the people, and the users and the customers have about your brand. So, this reputation impacts having a good reputation is very important because this reputation impacts the overall conversion rate, which means the overall customers that are coming into your website and actually purchasing the product or a service. The second example will be customer lifetime value. They need to buy the product or update themselves with the product with only your brand in the near future. You need to respond to all of the reviews that the customers are putting in the brand. It can be a negative or it can be a positive. Even if it's a negative review, please respond back to the customer saying sorry, apologize for the mistake or for any quality related issues. Immediately apologize to the customer and respond to the reviews. Try to address all of the complaints. Please address all of the complaints what the customer and the users are writing below. And the third option would be is to maintain the consistency of the brand. Please maintain the consistency of the brand because it is very important. So always try to balance the ethics and strategy because ethical marketing builds the trust of the audience. Strategic marketing builds the growth of the audience. And to build a successful and sustainable business, you need both. You need ethical practices and strategic practices. So without ethics, the brand collapses, and without strategy, the growth does not happen. So that is why strategy and ethics goes hand in hand. So please balance and implement both of them together. So students, we have come to the end of today's session, the last part of today's session. This session is more about recollecting whatever we have understood, whatever topics we have discussed for today, the key terminologies that that we need to recollect, whatever we have discussed today. First, we discussed about funnel. What is the digital funnel? What are the different kinds of funnel? How do you do funnel building that we have discussed? Then we have discussed about user journey. What is the user journey? How do you do user journey mapping? What are the different kinds of user journey mapping? Then we discussed about how do you do competition SEO analysis? How do you study your competition? How do you analyze your competition? How do you take notes from your competition? Then we have discussed what are the touch points, What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? And then we have also discussed about the funnel stages. What are the different stages of funnel and how customers think and relate and need to act? What is the goal? What is the focus of every funnel stage? All of these key terminologies we have understood today. So, in real world application, in search engine marketing, always use white hat practices. Do not use any kind of a black hat practice. White hat means ethical practices, black hat means unethical practices. My second recommendation would be create original content. Do not implement plagiarism. Do not copy from your competition. And my third recommendation would be earn the backlinks naturally. Do not stuff the feed. Do not stuff your headlines with keywords. Put correct backlinks. If you're putting a link on your website, make sure it goes correctly, it lands correctly. It is related to whatever your topic, your product, your service, your content. And hence, try to improve the overall user experience of your website. Avoid any kind of a manipulation tactics. Do not try to manipulate your customer. Do not try to manipulate your user, whoever's using your website. Be very transparent with the pricing. Do not do any kind of a shading or hiding any kind of any pricing details. Always be very ethical. And in the funnel design, what we discussed today, kindly and please guide the users clearly. Make sure you guide the users throughout the journey very clearly without any objections. Very linear approach. Guide the users clearly. Do not force any kind of a decisions. Don't force them to make any purchase. Do not force them to make any purchase details. Do not force them to put any to fill up any forms, put credit card details, debit card details, bank details, personal details, phone numbers, address. Do not force them to make a decision. And the third and last option in the funnel design is to always respect your user's choice. Whatever the choice he has made, whether it is a good decision for you or whether it is a bad decision for you, always respect the user's choice. So I am going to tell you very clearly a final summary of whatever we have discussed today. Digital marketing is very powerful, but with power comes responsibility. So be responsible as digital marketers. Do not try to favor the brands, always try to favor the audience. Provide the trust for the audience. Always use ethical practices. Ethical consideration protects the users. Strategic consideration protects the business. So use both correctly, blend both, try to balance both correctly, because how marketers and how digital marketing and how brands need to think is always think long term, always be always be user focused, and the main goal and focus, everything needs to be trust centered. Always try to build the trust among the audience. If you build the trust, you can build everything else in your audience. So please focus on the trust. So students, today's topic, we are done with today's chapter 6. I hope it was a very insightful and very clear session that I broke it down to you and made you all understand all the topics, all the key terminologies that we discussed today. We have come to the end of today's session. Reflect on whatever I have taught you, whatever you have understood, and we are done with today's session. So thank you so much, students. We have completed today's topic, today's chapter, today's session. I hope it was a very good session for you all. It was a very clear and good session for me too. So, behalf of Plant Green Inertia, I am the digital marketing trainer and my name is Ajay. So, students, thank you. Have a wonderful day ahead. We shall meet further on in the near future for the next topic and next chapter. Thank you, students. Have a great day. Goodbye. Please exit the link once you are done. Thank you.